They came to the conference upbeat, hoping donor countries would take the right steps and pledge more money to children's education. Because 234 million children worldwide are out of school. Half of them are young girls. Julia Gillard is a former Australian Prime Minister. She heads the Global Education Partnership, a platform to mobilize funds to get children back to school. She says funding from donor countries has stagnated. In some areas of Africa, it's dropped.
Here we are trying to get the world community to say, let's solve the global learning crisis. Let's get the 250 million children who today are not in school into school, and let's lift the quality of education for hundreds of millions more who are in schooling, but they don't learn to read or write or do any maths because the quality currently is so poor.
World and African leaders came to the stage, promising to make education a priority. In the audience are children affected by the education deficit here, and their advocates. Among them, visually impaired Nafisa Babu from South Africa. She says these are all empty promises.
Well, again, we'll have the same situation for girls, where they are married early, or they are not given an opportunity to learn. We have the same situation again with children with disabilities who will be excluded from education. We will not have enough trained teachers to be in the classroom. We won't have better quality teachers.
The Global Education Partnership's goal was to raise $4 billion for the next 3 years. With a commitment of $2.3 billion, the pledges have increased, but they're still short of the target. Big promises like these have been made before, but have been left unfulfilled. Now, African and other developing countries are stepping in to ensure that their children can go to school. More than 50 developing countries announced they would increase their public expenditure for education to $110 billion. This is an unprecedented move. Developing countries are increasingly less dependent on Western donor agencies. And this, for many at this conference, is worth celebrating. Nicolas, Haque, Al Jazeera, Dakar.